And the moral of this story is, kids, don't piss off a blonde chick in the middle of a diner. Alright, Breaking Bad, Season 5, Episode 10, or also known as Series 5B, Episode 2. Basically, our story resumes off where we left off, which is Walter White basically telling Hank to piss off and let him do his own thing, and Hank's like, minerals. We go on about our journey, and lo and behold, Hank is pursuing Walter White. Walter White is walking out of Hank's house after their little tussle at the end of the last episode, and they're sitting there and realize they're both challenging each other in a way. And so Walt's first thought is, I gotta get out of here. Hank's first thought is, gotta call Skylar. And I mean, yes, some of you are gonna say, actually he did want to call Skylar. Yes, but he wanted to get out of there first because he's like, Hank's got a gun and he's gonna shoot my brains out and arrest me if I don't get out of here and then call Skylar. Well, Hank was 2 steps ahead and said, he's gonna know that, so I'm gonna call Skylar. So he calls Skylar. And on top of that, now Skylar knows that Hank is aware. So they meet in the diner, hence my intro, and well, it doesn't go as well as Hank wants it to. And so Skylar makes a scene and basically says, yeah, piss off, bro, and hightails it out of there. And when I was sitting there watching that, I was like, now, you know, I was normally annoyed by Skylar, but now she can utilize her annoyance for the Heisenberg. And so this adventure now rides on. Walt is like, oh crap, I'm going to lose everything if I'm not careful. So we take Saul Goodman and his cronies and they go and bury money out in the desert at their original cook site, which could be of significance. My guess is to maybe alert Jesse of this, but we don't know yet. Which is why at the end of the review, as you know, I am going to speculate. Now he's buried it in the woods, and Hank continues on his warpath, and they try and take Skylar's baby away from her. Now, if we've learned anything from absolute insane Skylar, you don't piss her off. So there's this huge domestic violence dispute going on at the White home. Meanwhile, Walter's just out digging his hole and everything, and it works out for Walter. Well, Skylar's got to deal with, really, in the end, worse in this episode. Skylar has to deal with more, which I think is interesting. That almost Walter White got a break from all this. I don't know about you guys, but I think he really did. Yes, he's got to go bury like a gajillion dollars in the woods. But in all reality, to you guys, do you really think that he had it worse than having to deal with someone trying to take your own child away? And on top of finding out that your DEA brother-in-law is trying to grill you for information at every chance you get, and you don't have your criminal mastermind husband to back you up on this? Yeah, Skylar's got it a little worse. Now, I normally really strongly dislike Skylar. But, wow, she had to go through a lot this episode, so I give her a little write-off on all of that. To finish off the episode, Jesse is in jail. We don't know how he's in jail other than they say, dude, you threw a couple $1 million out of a vehicle. Yeah, how'd you get that, Mr. Degenerate that a few months ago was sitting there wearing FUBU, no offense to FUBU wearers, but was sitting there wearing like FUBU and was doing nothing with his life but saying bitch a lot. And yeah, so some suspicions are aroused. And on top of that, creepy lady who seems to not be able to act as well as any of the rest of the actors is sitting there saying, I don't like that your product as wannabe Heisenberg isn't as good as Heisenberg's. So we're gonna get like discount Jason Bourne to go get a team and kill all you wannabe Heisenbergs. And she did. Which now leads me to then Hank goes, all right, minerals. I'm going to go in and interrogate Jesse Pinkman because he hates my guts, and that's going to make it better. We had the first chunk that was like the monumental everything. Now we have the stage being set. We have obnoxious lady killing off the wannabe Heisenbergs. We have Jesse Pinkman being interrogated, and we have Walter White being pursued by Hank. It's a mess. It's a mess. Everything's a mess, and it's a good mess. I love seeing this mess, but at the same time, less happened in this episode. I would have liked to see more. There was a firefight that you just never see. It's like bang, 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 bang. Oh yeah, gunfire's happening above us. Yeah, should we show that and cut to that? Nah. They don't want to see that. No, I mean, yes, it's not an action show. I know it's not an action show. It's a drama show. I have all the seasons. Love them to death. I know it's not an action show. But on the finale type chunk of last episodes, you could have shown 2-Bit Matt Damon just blowing people away and, you know, have that battle above. And intercut, maybe do fast cuts. It would have been epic. I just feel like less was shown in this episode than they could have. That's not taking away from the episode. I think the episode is fantastic, especially having to follow up after a monumental episode as the Heisenberg saying tread lightly to Hank and basically saying, yo, Hank. Yeah, that's pretty monumental, especially because it's Walter White that everyone always was like, you are a milquetoast and less of a milquetoast and then even less of a milquetoast and now you are awesome. It's just like, come on, man. You could have shown a little more, but it still is a worthy episode. I'm not saying the episode's bad. I'm just saying it is nearly impossible to follow up something as awesome as the last episode. So this episode is still good. I wanted to see a little more, though, which I have a feeling it's building because, as I said, the stage is being set. Lady is out here wasting people in the desert. We have Hank and Pinkman interrogating each other, talking to each other, like getting everything figured out. And we have Walter White and Skyler and Hank dealing with Skyler. We have a lot going on at once. And all of it's about to fall into place. Saul Goodman, I have a feeling, is playing a little bit too much of a back role, which means he's going to come in somewhere. I still think he has to kill Jesse. I know a lot of people are saying, no, he doesn't have to kill Jesse anymore. No way. No way. He's Jesse. You can't kill him. I seriously think he does. I think he has nothing left. I think he's got his family gone now. The way it's going, I really think he's going to lose his family. I think he's going to lose Jesse, or by choice, that he has to choose. And they hint that Saul says, you know, maybe you should waste your brother-in-law. And Walter says, no. Screw that. So I think maybe he even has to do that. Maybe he has nobody left when he comes in the future months. When he passes out and talks to Skyler about it, he kind of alludes to the sickness, but he doesn't really talk about it much. Does he really have it, or is he faking it? We don't know. Maybe he's even taking those treatments to fake it. We don't know yet. I mean, the only thing he showed was fainting, which he was out in the desert all day, which he disguised his coordinates in lottery numbers. Who knows, at that point, what he's going to do. So, if I had to rate this episode, I'd give it, instead of a 99 like I did the last episode, I'd give it a 90. I still love this episode, but still, I wished a little more was shown. I wish they could have shown a little more content, which makes me realize, you know, from a filmmaking background, they could be potentially saving the budget for that finale, which I really hope they are. And the reason he has that M60 machine gun is because of obnoxious lady we don't like, and maybe he's got a showdown with her. And I really think that that's probably going to be it. I think also still, Jesse's going to die. He's gone insane. He's kind of the monkey wrench in the scenario. And I've heard people say if Jesse dies, they're done. So if Jesse dies in the last episode, we're all done with the show anyway. So I think maybe that's all going to go down. I think maybe everyone's going to die, including him using the ricin on himself. If he has nothing left to live for, then he might just do it himself. And as sick as that sounds, it's possible. And my friend Richard really turned me on to the idea that he might probably use the ricin on himself. And I've been thinking about that, and the more they keep alluding to it, especially that army that she has, I think it's going to happen. I really do. I also think somehow Mike is going to come back to haunt them. Alright, so don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm doing this every week, and then the final week I'm doing these Breaking Bad ones is obviously the finale. So please, post your theories, and don't forget to like and subscribe for every week. Also, tell me for my regulars on this channel, what do you think of this layout while I'm working on my technical difficulties? My girlfriend gave me the idea to have my DVD shelf because I have so many DVDs. So please, all of you, post, talk, I encourage it. So I'll see you on the next whatever review I do.